Hello everybody, it is Detra Mighty, and this is part 2. Part 2. This is part 2 of the Wrecked and Bloody breakdown. This video is going to be a little shorter just because I'm going to be focusing on the vocals and kind of like songwriting, what I use to record the vocals, what I have on the mixer track, like on the vocals and stuff. It's going to be short and simple. First things first, I recorded this song on the very dusty AT2020 Audio Technica. Obviously, this is a very beginner type of mic, so that's what I made the majority of my songs on, was on this mic. Really good mic. But yeah, so I made it with that. And as far as what I use, what I have on like the actual recording track, here, let me, right here, I have, for this is like in the past type stuff. So I had a limiter, a compressor, Spitfish for de-essing, and then this is not supposed to be there. Yeah, just 3 simple things to make sure I have like a pretty clean recording. Like I said in the past video, this song is a couple of years old, and I mix pretty, it's not too different from how I mixed back then, especially when it comes to vocals, but the term less is more is definitely drilled into me a bit since then. But as far as the main vocal, I pretty much use all stock plugins, all FL stock plugins for all of my vocals and stuff. When it comes to the majority of my mixing, the plugins are either stock or they're free. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely a if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? It's like, so, you know, keep it simple. I use the pitcher for the auto tune or vocal correction, Maximus just to compress what needs to be compressed and whatnot. And EQs, I got 2 EQs and 2 limiters. Now, one of the biggest issues that I had, just mixing in general, but especially when it came to the vocals, was getting them loud enough. Getting them loud, getting them crisp. So, you know, I feel like as a result, I did definitely blow out a lot of stuff. And it gets to a point where you can't hear the, I think it's called sibilance. Basically, you're not able to really understand a lot of what I'm saying because I've blown out the vocals so much. You could really only hear the, like, you can't really hear the consonants and whatnot. It's just more like it's subtle, but I've come to realize, because most people say they can't understand what I'm saying in general, and in my head I'm like, I'm not really putting on like a thick rock star accent. So it was that was why I was doing a lot to these, and it took away a lot from the vocal. Yeah, so I pretty much have the vocals soloed. This is the main vocal.
You wanna have a night sober, fall to the floor, what's left, you think it's over, bleeding out through your chest, she needed closure, you just won't feel the breast to go on, move on, so petrified, you're wrecked and bloody.
That's like the main vocal, and I re-recorded that and put it under as a dub and then panted it left and right. I'm gonna try and play them all, but like I said, my shit is kind of fucked, so.
You wanna have a night sober, fall to the floor, what's left, you think it's over, bleeding out through your chest, she needed closure, you just won't feel the breast to go on, move on, so petrified, you're wrecked and bloody.
Right there, and then right here I have the background vocals, basically.
Move on.
The ad-libs, if you will. And now for these, what I did is, like, I recorded with all of the effects on the recording for the sake of saving CPU and whatnot. You know, there is a better way. I might make a video on how I do it now so I can preserve my CPU and it won't break itself. You won't get all that ugly, nasty popping and cracking whenever you play back. Because that's really all music is, in my opinion. It's just problem solving, how to make things sound good without sacrificing the quality and whatnot, and without having to use too much stuff. In my opinion, that's kind of what this whole journey's kind of been, you know. How do I make this easier, make this sound better without using a shit ton of plugins and whatnot. But yeah, so for all of these, I just recorded the vocal with the effects on them, and then
move on.
This is that. Right there. It's pretty legit. The only thing that really changes is whenever the distortion is on, that's when I use the limiter to kind of make up in volume and whatnot. I don't know exactly why I did that, but it needed to be done, so I did it. The verse comes in.
Wrong night, eyes are mud, your eyes so rusty, so right, you want me inside your head.
Right there. I definitely want it in terms of like vocal arrangement and whatnot to give it like a, you know, like a 2010 type of vibe. You know, back in the day, people didn't do their own ad-libs and whatnot. You know, they had hired people to do ad-libs, obviously their background vocals and everything. You know, now we're in a very hyper independent age, so everybody just does their own shit, and it comes off as a lot more, I wouldn't say authentic, not that the past shit is authentic, but it's a different vibe. It's like, oh man, like how much can I do with my voice? Basically, how much space can I fill with just my voice? Classic. On this part right here, I do punch in.
Do you care? I swear it's suffocating. Don't you dare stay there, I'm contemplating.
Fuck. So yeah, and in the verse I do punch in. So when it comes to like translating it live, it is kind of a challenge, but that's another good thing about it, is if you know you make your music and you plan on performing it live, making your live version and the song distinctly different, but it still captures the same vibe, is like the best thing you could. It offers like a brand new experience that only a few of your supporters get to experience because they're actually like there. And then of course you can record it and put it on the internet, but it's not the same. But yeah, so let's just go over to the bridge. I think I use a different convolver or a different reverb, yeah, right here for it.
Got a taste for you, I feel it on my tongue. My gas for air, pressure on my lungs. Might have lost several times, I still think I've won.
Definitely wanted the vocal to just kind of hang in that space. It's like, you know, in terms of like what the song is, this is the moment where everything is fucked and you're tired. And it's like, what more is there? Recorded with the effects, the backing vocals for this, because I am punching in.
You'd feel better, drop the drama. All your scars, they burn. You'd feel
God, that shit is annoying.
burn like lava. After your demons on me, you are mine, so they won't stop me.
And I actually think I automate in that last bit. Yeah, I have the distortion kind of come back to kind of make it
They won't stop me.
type shit. Right before that drop, it really slams into home, like, wake up, like, I'm home. And then we have the last bit. I do add a higher octave. I'm pretty much belting. Actually, I had to fucking...
You wanna have a night sober, fall to the floor, what's left, you think it's over, bleeding out through your chest, you needed closure, you just won't feel the breast to go on, move on, so petrified.
I recorded 2 of me belting, pan them left and right, just to give that last hook a new element vocally, to encourage people to scream these lyrics back to you. I also have this guy right here of me yelling, move on.
Move on!
Higher key. You know, the way you record that stuff, you just back away from the mic a little bit and yell at different positions. You pan them and whatnot. It'll sound like a crowd. You've seen the TikTok videos. If you make music, like changing your voice up, making it seem like an actual crowd is yelling or singing back to you, to like get this crowd or choir type of vibe. It's a cool vibe. And then at the end, I have a couple of... I remember I did a open verse for this, and somebody did. I think 1 or 2 people did it, which is honestly cool as fuck. Like I said, most people can't understand what I'm saying. This part right here. I'm saying bleed out. Bleed out. Bleed. Bleed out. Bleed. That's what I'm saying right there. Like that was like the peak of my range. The that last note I could not hold for the life of me. I would end up breaking immediately, So what I did, as you can see, chop that bitch. And then I added a little fuck right here.
Fuck!
Type shit. The last finale, the last grand hurrah of it. Yeah, that pretty much puts it all together. As far as like the lyrics go, what this song means, it's a song about being betrayed or feeling like you've been betrayed. And as a result, you don't know if you can trust yourself to like develop feelings for someone again and go all in. But sometimes that's what it takes. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. It's Detro Mighty. We'll see you next week. I'm 2 for 2.